super excited to have you join us tonight and tell folks what we're going to cook, and let's get started. I know you got a lot to do tonight.
Yeah, let's get started. So Andy came to me and said he wanted to do something for back to school, and I thought, what would be better than to actually like cook something with your kids. I know I was taught by my Aunt Trish and my mom and my mama in the kitchen making things for them, and I think that's like one of the things that brought me into the creating and restaurant world and the hospitality industry that I love so much, is creating something. So I say all that to say that we're going to start doing, we're going to do some Thai naan pizzas. Okay. So I got the naan from from Publix, the Stonefire brand. It's a really good brand. So I'm going to start off by making the sauce for the pizza. So I'm going to start off with the 1/4 cup of peanut butter.
Do you have a favorite brand of peanut butter?
I like Skippy peanut butter. It's a little sweeter for me. I got a sweet tooth. Anybody who knows me, I have a crazy sweet tooth. But yeah, I prefer Skippy for myself. And now I'm going to add the 3 tablespoons of the sesame dressing. And you can use any kind of sesame dressing. This is Ken's, but I like this one. It's got a little more of a gingery sesame bite to it. And now I'm going to add my teaspoon of soy sauce. And then my tablespoon of water. Okay. So now I'm just going to mix that together. And just be careful because it will like splash everywhere and get soy sauce everywhere. I'm sure by the end of this, I'll get a stain on my shirt for sure.
And soy sauce is one of the characteristics of soy sauce is that it does not come out.
No, it does not.
It's a permanent stain.
Yeah. So you just want to get like that. It looks like ultra super, super creamy peanut butter. It kind of looks like my favorite breakfast snack, which is peanut butter and syrup toast, which my mom like raised me on that, and that's probably why I have an obnoxious sweet tooth. That's one of my favorite snacks. So now that we have our sauce, we have our naan. And by the way, I went ahead and preheated my oven to 425, so it'll be nice and toasty in there. So now I'm just going to take my sauce and spread it between the 2 naan. And like I said, this is like super interactive for kids, make it fun. And if you make things fun for kids to, cook up, more than likely they're going to eat it too, because they took pride in making it.
For sure. I noticed that with our kids, if you involve them in the process, even with ingredients that they're not really familiar with, they get way more comfortable eating it. And That's always been, if you can get anybody, you get them involved in building something with anchovies on it, they'll probably go, oh, let me try that. They may not love it, but also sometimes it takes 7 times to try something before you develop a taste for it. So
yes. So now I have the rotisserie chicken, and I'm just going to spread between the 2 pizzas. This is just a rotisserie chicken that I got from Publix and pulled some meat off of it. Again, you can use whatever meat you wanted to, but I think chicken is more the way to go for this pizza. So I'm just going to take the chicken and spread it with pizzas. Like I said, this is a super easy recipe. I'm not like, something crazy, too much for kids to plate up and to make with their mom or dad. And there's no like sharp utensils involved either, you know what I mean? Like you can have all of this stuff ready for y'all to play with. So there's my chicken.
While you're doing that, I just want to say real quick, we've got Betty from Cumming, Georgia, Joanna's from Oregon on Facebook, Castleman from Ocean Springs. Joanna's mom is from Birmingham. Joanna says her younger daughter is attending ICE in Pasadena for her baking and pastry program. So
Oh,
got
cool.
a lot of folks, and Lynn, Addison, Mildred, several other folks have not commented yet, but y'all please do, and tell us where you're cooking from here.
Yeah.
So, oh, look
All
at
right.
that.
And yeah, so now we have all the toppings. So I have like red onion, red pepper, and carrots. So all of the good vitamins for your kids. So so now I'm going to spread those. You know, if your kid doesn't like onions, I know a lot of, you know, kids can be picky, but again, if they make this together with their parents, they may actually really like it. All right, so there's our onions, and our red peppers.
And even Chef Dwayne is watching you on Facebook Live. So
Oh, hey, Dwayne.
I did get a question. What is a good dairy-free alternative for the cheese?
For the cheese, well, there's Daya, which is a actually vegan brand, which is actually really good.
Daya. So there you go.
Yeah, it's like usually in like the vegetable section of either Target or Publix. I know that because I was trying to go vegan for a minute and it just didn't work out. So now we're just gonna add our cheese.
Can you put too much cheese on a pizza?
No,
is it possible?
No. I'm not gonna put as much cheese on the pizza, just so you can see all these like really pretty colors. So spread that out. Like that. Okay.
And she also asked Brittany, while you're putting that in the oven, any tips for making that cheese you were talking about melt really well, because she struggled with that. Maybe whether it's the temperature or an amount, or any tips on melting that cheese.
I mean, there's not really, vegan cheese is just not going to melt as well as a non-dairy cheese. So as a dairy filled cheese, but let's see. No, I would just use Daya, and then just yeah, make with what you can do with. I don't know. I haven't really been in a dairy free world. That's really hard for me.
There we go. All right. So we got the pizza in the oven. While Brittany's kind of getting ready for the next thing, I want to drop some peanut facts on you. And by the way, you can go to peanutbutterlovers.com for tons and tons of recipes and info about peanut butter. It really is an incredible peanut butter, and peanuts are an incredible ingredient that we, especially down here in the South, there's so much that the peanut does for. It's one of the zero waste crops, meaning they I've seen them baling the tops of peanuts, and of course the root is actually where the shell and the peanut is, and so that's a really neat thing, because a lot of crops there's a huge byproduct waste, and that is not the case with peanuts, and they use less water than any other nut to be harvested and or grown. So little peanut factoid there, Brittany. All right, what are we doing next?
Yeah. Okay, so now I got some fresh cilantro that I'm gonna chop up for the garnish and flavor. I know a lot of people are a little weird about cilantro sometimes. If you don't like cilantro, you can use, you know, green onions or anything like that. So yeah.
So you're not pulling the stems off. You're just getting leaves for this part.
Yeah, I'm just getting the leaves. Yeah. And then just to keep my cilantro fresh, I have it in like nice cold water, keep them nice and keep it bouncy.
It looks really good.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna chop some of that up while the cheese is melting. It took a minute for the cheese to melt earlier, but once it melted, like I did a test run earlier, and it was like it smells so good. And I'm really excited to try it for the second time. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna douse it in cilantro, but just enough to give it that nice little flavor. So yeah.
Little pop of flavor, little pop of color. I noticed you've got your knife is much smaller than some of the chef knives I've seen. Is that because you're a pastry chef? You don't get the big 12-inch chef knife?
No, I do have an 8-inch chef knife, but this is just good for just like small things like this.
Yeah,
I don't really get to break
good.
out my big chef knife a lot, but I mostly use a paring knife, honestly.
That's right. Betty is asking about how long is in the oven time. Would that be 7 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's about 7 to 10 minutes. You just want to get like a little brown around the edge, and then you just want that cheese just to be, where it doesn't look stringy anymore. It just looks nice and melted. But that's what I'm saying is like, you can have all of these ingredients ready for you and your, kid to make this pizza. And, I know that moms are like super busy and dads are super busy in the morning, and sometimes you don't have time for this kind of stuff, but this would be fun just for dinner. When I show you the peanut butter mousse, I'm going to have in these like cute little containers that you can definitely put in a lunchbox, or just for like, like a little party or anything.
Oh yeah.
So, let me check on them real quick.
So while Brittany's doing that, I'm just going to talk about some other peanut factoids. Less than 1% of the population has a peanut allergy. A lot of times that's something you hear a lot about, but the study is in, and less than 1% of the population has a peanut allergy. And here's something else I learned getting ready for this class is that if you introduce peanuts between 4 and 6 months of age, the allergy rate goes down 86%. And I'm sure you can learn more about all of that at peanutbutterlovers.com. But that was news to me. That was new information. So that's really neat to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised on peanut butter. I'm still a huge fan. I mean, Reese cups are my thing. For my husband's wedding, we had I got one of my aunts to make like basically Buckeyes and Oreo balls, peanut butter and everything like that. So I mean, I am a peanut butter gal for sure.
Well, you're at the right spot for a class then.
Yeah.
Mariana said, I bet this pizza would be good cold in the lunchbox or hot at home for dinner.
Yes, and it's easy to cut into too. So I mean, like you want to half it, you can split it between 2 kids, because to me, I mean, it's still a pretty big pizza. So let me check on it. Almost there. So, but next I'm going to start doing my peanut butter mousse, and in the mousse I have heavy whipping cream. And before you even start to whip heavy cream, I have my bowl and my whisk attachment chilling in the fridge, because that's what's going to give it those nice peaks. If there's anything, if there's anything I learned,
little pro tip.
Yeah, Dollister Miles taught me, if you're going to whip cream, you better make sure it's in the cold bowl. And I mean, I would get in trouble. Like, this is not like, oh, just make sure. It was like, no, is the bowl cold? And I'm like, oh, no. So make sure your bowl is cold. Just a pro tip. And your whisk.
So you could actually, sometimes when I have to chill things, I'll dump ice and water in it and let it, because it speeds. I mean, obviously the fridge takes a minute, but if you put ice water in it and then wipe it so you don't add any extra liquid to it.
Right. Yeah. So I'm sure our pizzas are ready now. Yeah.
That great oven, great kitchen setup. And,
oh yeah. This is my best friend's kitchen. And I was like, look, I got a cooking demo. Can I do it in your kitchen? She was like, yeah, I told you a long time ago you could do one. So who knows? This may be the start of something. I feel pretty comfortable. So who knows?
This is going great. So make sure she gets a close up of what you're doing there, because that looks awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, they smell really, really good too. So it's just nice and melted. If you want them to be a little more melted, you can. It's all up to you, your preference. So now I'm gonna add. I found some creamy sriracha sauce from Hellman's, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And it's really, really good. As much as I love just straight sriracha, I'll definitely mix sriracha and mayo together. But this is already all in one. So using this. And if you are a little sensitive to spice, probably wouldn't do this. But I'm just going to give it a drizzle. Just like that. And then we're going to add our cilantro. And then I have some roasted peanuts just for a little extra crunch. I'm all about texture.
Joanna on Facebook likes to eat peanut butter on toast, dipped apples, celery, and bananas.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's what it looks like finished. So in a little bit, I'll taste it when it cools down because I'd rather not burn my roof of my mouth on live Facebook.
And Sonia says if you don't have fresh cilantro, you can use coriander, which is a dried cilantro. They also make the dried cilantro. Coriander is the seed of the cilantro plant, if I recall. So it's going to have some of that same flavor, but it's not going to be quite as, it's not going to add the color. I guess you could go parsley too if you wanted to, right?
Oh
or
yeah.
Would that be, yeah. That would, I mean, it would be a little deviation, but
yeah.
still.
Yeah, I would, I mean, personally, I would stay with cilantro, but you do you. Okay, now I'm going to start making the peanut butter mousse. So I have my trusty little KitchenAid mixer. This mixer has been with me since culinary school. So probably when I was 20, I'm 34 now. So this little mixer is like 14 years old. So it may end up in the museum when I die one day. So has like a little special place in my heart.
The old KitchenAid, they don't make them like they used to. They're I love this one. My big like 4-quart one is, you know, it's a little louder, but this one's just been with me since the test of time. So now we're going to start on the peanut butter mousse. I have my cream cheese, my 9 ounces of cream cheese. And you want to make sure that your cream cheese is room temp, because if it's not room temp, it'll it won't mix in with the peanut butter, right? You'll have these like lumps and everything. No one likes that. No one likes a lumpy cheesecake or lumpy anything. And I strongly suggest you use Philadelphia. I don't know if they let the Pope kiss the cream cheese or what, but it is the best cream cheese to use. Do not use any other brand, in my opinion. Okay. There you go. And Brittany she's not sponsored by KitchenAid and Philadelphia.
I'm not.
She just loves them.
But if you want to, let me know.
But
Shout out,
she's very familiar with NASCAR and how that works. So next time we see her on camera, she'll have some patches.
Yeah. And now I have my 9.5 ounces of peanut butter. This is the Skippy that I'm using. Okay. All right, and now we're just going to cream that together just on low. You're going to make sure you don't have any streaks or, like I said, lumps. And you shouldn't have any lumps since everything is room temp, and it's in the middle of Alabama summer, so there's that too. All right, now we're going to add our vanilla, and I got these cute little spatulas. My friend Jessica gave these to me for my birthday. I don't know if you can see, it's got little honeybees on it. Cinnamon and Sonoma. They're super cute, like perfect for this because I'm going to add honey to this. So here's our tablespoon of honey. I have that is actually from an Alabama honeybee farm here.
Call that an apiary, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, so I was about to ask, do you just rub it on the side to get it to come off and just pray that it goes down in there? Or how do you actually make sure the honey gets in the mix?
I am going to scrape my bowl down. I'm going to put it on low. And then I'm gonna add my powdered sugar, my 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. And you wanna add it on low because if you don't, that powdered sugar will blow up in your face. I mean, this is sweet, so if you did not want to add the powdered sugar, you don't have to. You can just do the honey or vice versa, whatever you want to do. All right, you see it already on the little paddle. I'm gonna scrape it down, make sure I get that honey in there like you were talking about. If there's one thing I definitely got in trouble with Doug Allen at Angel's Cakes and Confections was not scraping my bowl down. So I am a fan about that now. So we're gonna mix that.
And the noise canceling AirPods, we can't even hear the mixer. We see the mixer, but we don't even hear it. So that's kind of wild.
Good. I feel like there's a lot of people who should sponsor us on this, but that's just me.
That's that Talladega coming out in you, isn't it?
Right. I mean, you know, hey, I'm just trying to get that bag.
So from folks who are watching across the country, Brittany did grow up near Talladega.
I'm from Talladega. I'm from Childersburg in Talladega County.
In Talladega County. Okay. So
yeah, I can always tell you're not from there because you say Dega. All right.
Well, only a few people are from there. So the rest of us, you know, say it how we see it. So we'll get it.
A few greats. Yeah, a few great people. All right. Now I'm gonna go get my cold bowl. Okay.
There you go. While she's doing that, I will throw out another peanut factoid for you. So peanuts can actually improve the soil. They produce their own fertilizer, and they are what's called nitrogen fixing. So peanuts are a really sustainable crop because a lot of things really deplete the soil when you grow them. Peanuts actually improve the soil. So that's another little quick peanut factoid. All right, Brittany, what you got here? This is your heavy cream.
All right. Yeah, so this is my 3 cups of heavy cream. And it's cold, my whisk is cold, my bowl is cold, like we're ready to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna start it on slow because it will splatter. And in just a second, I'm gonna turn it on high and just give it a really like fast whip. If you are more comfortable with going low and slow, do that. Me, sometimes I don't have enough time for that. So like a little pro tip is I got this like little cute towel that my friend let me use. Look how cute.
Whip it good.
I thought
you were gonna talk about the song that says "Watch Me Whip," but
no, the original
okay.
one. All right, so you're just gonna take it and just put it over the top. And sometimes if the towel's not heavy enough, you can just like dampen it a little bit. So now I can like put it on high. You just want to whip it to like soft peak. So don't get crazy with it. I'm just gonna like watch it from the little window on the side. And I got a nice big bowl to mix my mousse in.
That is so wild because we can't hear the mixer at all, but you know, we have all heard that sound and know it's just whipping up a storm in there.
Yeah. Well, earlier I got kind of carried away and I actually over whipped it. And if that ever happens, you can add a little extra cold cream to it and it should bring it back a little bit. So there. Let's see. So this is what you would call like soft peaks. You see the peak. It's a soft peak. A stiff peak would be straight up. But this is just a soft peak. there. Now we're gonna put our peanut butter mixture that we were making earlier in the bowl. And don't freak out because it's like a little stiff. We're gonna loosen it up with a little bit of whipped cream, and then it'll like be this like really yummy, luxurious mousse. Now I have my other cute spatula, Queen Bee.
Joanna on
So,
Facebook wants to know if you like glass bowls better.
You know, I've never really thought about it. I honestly used the glass bowl so that you guys could see what I was doing. So
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I'm just used to stainless steel bowls in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like,
In
plus,
the restaurant
I'm not
world,
used
that's
to,
pretty standard.
yeah, and I'm not used to these tiny little batches. You know, I'm used to more like the 5-10 pound batches. I actually had a video of myself mixing up like a 10-pound batch of chocolate mousse for a big banquet party that I did at the club way back. That was fun.
That seems like a lot of mousse. A lot of mousse.
A lot of mousse. Yeah. So you're just gonna mix it to where you don't have any like streaks, and that like loosens it up so it's more workable.
Also,
like
Brittany, oh, look at that. That looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just did both of those with the mixer, and then you just kind of folded it in with your spatula, and that's what you get.
Yes. Yeah. And then now I'm gonna add. So
really
now
great.
I can add the rest of my cream, because if you would have added all of your cream in the beginning, you would have deflated all of that like nice air that you just whipped into your mousse.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got a question from Mildred asks if you've ever used the powdered peanut butter.
I have not, but I mean, I'm sure if you did, it would be fine. I mean, you would have to activate it though, the water, I would think.
Yeah, I've had some of the peanut butter powder. It tastes just like peanut butter. It's just dry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I use that butter, it's like I'm doing like protein cookies or a protein shake or something like that, because your girl can just not do a regular protein shake, because I can't, like, once you're a pastry chef and you're a sugar fiend, like trying to eat healthy, like protein shake wise, if it doesn't taste good, I can't do it. It makes me like, well, you know. So now we're just gonna add the rest of that cream. All right. And then fold it in. You just want to go around your bowl and then fold under. I always think about that with it's called Schitt's Creek, the one where he was like, you just fold it in. Fold it in.
hadn't seen that one, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That looks really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, look how like pretty that is. And if you were doing this like for like a big party, like if I had a banquet or anything like that, then I would add gelatin to it so it would like really hold its form. So now I'm gonna make the peanut butter crunch. So I'm just gonna put this in the fridge so it'll still hold its like free shape.
Excellent. And let's see, well, whoop, here she's back already. That was quick.
Yes. And I tell you, me and my friend Lindsay are prepared. That's an understatement. Super prepared. All right. So for the peanut butter crunch, although I'm a huge fan of the mousse, but I wanted some like fun texture, and what other way to add some fun texture than cornflakes. Household classic. Yeah.
There you
Who
go.
doesn't love cornflakes? My favorite thing about cornflakes though is like if you're eating a big bowl of it for cereal and you let it sit in the milk for a little bit and then you just drink the milk. It's really good. Memories. And then,
Uh,
so now we're going to add peanut brittle, and Alabama humidity has gotten to it a little bit. If you have this problem, you can add like you can put a little silica pack on top of it.
pull
It's
that
still
moisture
crunchy,
out.
but it's a little chewy. But if you have fillings, I would say skip this part. Yeah, because I don't want to be responsible for your
Right.
your dentist bill. Yes.
Yeah, you got to sign the waiver if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Chef Dwayne, by the way, totally agrees. Give him real sugar any day on the Facebook feed. And then Tyler and Rebecca say, at what point do you add the gelatin if you're making a larger batch further in advance? So would that be like when you're folding it in at the very end, or could you?
You add it to the whipped cream. Yeah, so like
Okay.
if you, and it depends on what kind of gelatin you're using too. Like I prefer gelatin sheets. And so I would use the gelatin sheets, dissolve those in water, and then you just melt it down a little bit. And then as you're like whipping your cream, you just pour it on the sides.
There you go.
I don't know the exact amount ratio, but yeah, that's what you would do. And then you better work with it fast because it'll start to set up. So
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna add my half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And then I'm gonna add my peanut butter. Skippy peanut butter again.
For those counting at home, she's on her third spatula, all
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, when we were doing like our test run, we were like, wow, we were really going through some spatulas, aren't we? So, and then this part right here, like, you know, if you want to use your hands, because if you're a kid and you're just having a good old time, you can definitely do that. Or if you're in a hurry and you want to use your mixer, you can use your mixer too. But I thought, what fun would it be like to add cornflakes to this? In Pastry Chef world, you would probably use fouettine. I would use fouettine, which is just like overbaked crepes that are like nice and crunched up, that add like amazing texture to everything.
Right.
So yeah, so you just want to make it like one. It wouldn't take as long if you used a mixer, but I mean, I feel like I'm doing like ASMR. Can you hear it? So yeah, this would be fun. And then, I mean, of course, a kid, I would be like eating this the whole time, diving into it. And then this recipe, I got it from Christina Tosi, who is like an amazing pastry chef. She has the Milk Bar is her bake shop in New York. Yeah. And I love her like take on everything, like making it, you know, fun and kid-like, because when you're a kid, you're introduced to sugar. It's like the best thing ever. So I thought what would work best and like hand in hand with, you know, cornflakes and peanut butter. So this kind of reminds me of like the puppy chow. So if you have like, if it's not like super like mixed together and you still have like a little bit of like powdered sugar mixed in there, it's fine. I mean, it's all gonna like disappear anyways. So we got all that smushed and crunched up.
You don't want to over stir it because you're going to lose all your cornflake crunch. It'll just turn into a paste.
And then once you like layer it and everything, it's going to look really yummy. So I'll put that right there. And then I saw these little, the little, you know, jam jars from like Walmart, the little ball jars. Look how cute that is, with a leather lead. And I thought, you know, you can make these, you know, put your peanut butter mousse in there and then seal it up, and you can put it in your lunchbox. Right, fresh.
That's a great idea. Right. And we've seen chefs serve desserts, like plated desserts in those. Dinner parties, things like that all the time. So
yeah, because you can bake in them, so you can put all kind of like little fun things in there, like for a dessert bar. So I have all those little lined up. So now I'm gonna take a little spoon and just add my crunch to the bottom, however much you want. I'm gonna do a lot because the stuff is good. So good. Put them in the bottom.
Testing as she goes. You got to make sure the flavor's right, Brittany?
Yeah, I'm totally gonna like smash a couple of these tonight at midnight, so no judge. All right, so now that I have my crunch in the bottom, I'm gonna go grab my mousse from the fridge.
Getting the mousse.
Getting the mousse.
So while
There's the mousse.
while you're grabbing the mousse, I'm just going to drop another peanut fact on us, and we're going to give something away in just a minute too. So peanuts offer a great nutrition for kids. Peanut butter is a nutritious food that kids love, and research has shown that a child's diet influences how they eat as they get older. So peanut butter pairs with many fruits and vegetables, as actually one of our viewers was saying earlier, and it helps kids try a whole bunch of new foods. So work that peanut butter in.
Yes. Getting that pastry bag full, but not too full. That drives me crazy when people overfill their pastry bag.
Yeah, that could get messy really quick.
Yeah, it gets really messy. So there we go. That over there. All right. So I'm just gonna take my little cup, fill her up. There we go. As much as you want.
Hold that up high to the camera there so that everybody can tip it towards us a little bit. Oh, look at that. The piping bag. Cute. Yeah, the piping bag application really makes it super cute on there. Would you garnish that with anything? You could take a little.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna take the rest of like the some of the crunch and just put it on top.
Oh.
You know. So fun. That's so cute. So there we go. Just like that. Super cute.
That's lovely.
So when you smash into that, you get the crunch and the salty and the creamy, and then you get another surprise at the bottom. Like, it's so good. You really want to get wild with it, you can make some chocolate ganache and put it in the middle. Like, I mean, it's endless. So now you can just take your little lid. It's ready for school, man.
That is fantastic. So if y'all got any peanut butter questions or nutrition questions, whatever, anything like that, or pastry chef questions, you can drop those in the comment box. Even on Facebook, we'll get those passed over to the Zoom. And we're going to do a little bit of trivia in a second here. Sonia's going to send me our trivia question, and you're going to win. One of our viewers here tonight is going to win. I can't remember exactly what they're going to win. Look at Brittany's about to start in and test it.
So good. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can put into my pizza too. Keep going. I'll be over here snacking.
There you go. So we're going to get that trivia question up in just a second, and we'll take the first correct answer to that. Ms. Gunnett says, this was so excellent. Thanks for taking the time to walk us through these. Wish me luck on trying these recipes. I don't consider myself like the utmost culinary expert, but I think I could pull this off. Especially the pastry world is kind of daunting because, you know, you pastry chefs know how to make things like when you get the hard, we've talked about this when I was trying to candy other things, and you want to get things to a certain temperature and stop. And this is pretty, any mama in the kitchen can whip this up, or dad, or anybody who just wants to make this. I mean, it doesn't have to be a parent for sure.
No. I mean, this would be a good date night, even if just like you and your significant want to get in the kitchen and drink wine or whatever and cook some fun food. That'd be good.
Speaking of having a cocktail, Brittany, the other night when we did the Instagram live, talk people through your cocktail, because that was a fantastic little idea. We used screwball, peanut butter, bourbon, and what all did you put in yours? Because I I know you didn't. I didn't set you up to reenact that, but
Oh no.
if you are in the kitchen and you want to have a fun beverage that goes along with this,
yeah, I just did like a play on a White Russian. So I did in a rocks glass. I just dipped the rim in some peanut butter, and then I just kind of rolled the rim in some roasted peanuts. And I would probably, honestly, like looking back, I would probably only do half because it's a lot. And then, you know, ice. And then I did Kahlua and the screwball. And then I just poured some, you can use like heavy cream or half and half, but I use the silk oatmeal cookie flavor. And it was actually really, really good because I didn't have any heavy cream on hand. So yeah.
And
it
I
was
think
really delicious.
for mine, I did not have Kahlua, so I used Bailey's half and half, screwball, and then I did the what did I do? I didn't have crunchy peanut butter, so I did creamy peanut butter, but I put kosher salt. So I did a salted peanut butter rim on mine, and that was and I only did halfway because there's just too many ways that could go wrong if you get too messy. So I only did half of it, but that was really fun. And somebody just shared, Tyler just shared the link to watch that Instagram live replay. If you guys are on the Zoom here, you can see that. Or if you're not, you can go to Eat Y'all. Let's Eat Y'all on Instagram and catch that. All right, so our trivia question: who is the father? And you got to type this in the chat. Who is the father of the peanut industry and developed more than 300 other uses for peanuts?
Oh, Jesus. I wouldn't know.
Betty.
I'll be
A1A, George Washington Carver. Brittany, I learned that when I was like 10 years old and I was homeschooled.
That is true. I forgot about that though.
George Washington Carver. He actually, I think the original thing was there was because cotton and some of the other crops were depleting the soil so much, they wanted to get a rotational crop to come in that would help build the soil back up. And so they're like, well, okay, we're growing this peanut. What are we going to do with it? And so then they started thinking of like all the different ways you can use peanuts. It was kind of like Bubba Gump and this, it was like, well, you can do shrimp grille, shrimp etouffee. It was like peanut butter, peanut oil, and 300 other things. By the way, Leslie says we have a Nutter Butter banana pudding recipe on peanutbutterlovers.com that you can make in the jelly jars too. So y'all be sure there's tons of. So A1A, we're gonna need a better name than that. You can direct message Sonia because A1A is not enough to award a prize, but we're close. We know that you're going to be in the top one in the Zoom because you're A1A. It's like the first name in the phone book. So fantastic. All right, Brittany. You got any other pastry chef tips? Any other peanut butter knowledge you want to drop on us tonight?
Always have your mise en place ready, which means everything in its place. Whatever your recipe has, like I had everything ready to execute the recipe. And work clean. Keep your station clean, and you won't have to if you work messy, your product's probably going to be messy. But if you have a clean workstation, everything's clean, you more than likely your product will be executed correctly. So
yeah, and it was fantastic that you were able to go through everything just so quickly because you had everything ready, and you didn't have to sit there and chop every onion and every red bell pepper or whatever. So if you're trying to cook along and keep up, it'd be pretty hard to do because that mise en place, which I believe that's French, isn't it, Brittany?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, all right, well, you guys can follow Brittany on. Tell people how to keep up with you and your adventures in the culinary world, Brittany.
Right now my Instagram's bsugar88, but I will be getting my Dega Darling branding up pretty soon. But yeah, and then on Facebook I'm Brittany Garrigus-Cheatham.
So and the Dega Darling, y'all are going to want to watch this because Brittany's got some exciting plans that will be rolling out soon with her pastry
Yeah.
career. So that's fantastic. And Mariana reminds us to follow Peanut Butter Lovers on Instagram and Facebook. They have a ton of recipes, resources, photos that'll make you like, don't go there hungry unless you're ready to come up with an idea and get after it, because they have some incredible photography of all those recipes. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight, everybody, and thank Brittany for being here. It's been a real treat. And go to peanutbutterlovers.com.